Appalachian Trail is a place of beauty, but also of silence. It stretches for more than 2,000 miles, crossing through thick forest, fog-covered valleys, and mountains that swallow the horizon. Millions of hikers steps onto this trail every year, searching for peace, for nature, or sometimes for themselves. But in 2021, a series of hikers all told the same chilling story. They claimed they met her, a woman dressed in white, silent, drifting through the trees on stretches of the Appalachian Trail that few dared to walk alone. And the strangest part, no one ever saw her arrive, no one ever saw her leave. In early spring, a hiker named Daniel was 3 days into a solo trip. He was deep in the Blue Ridge Mountains, a section known for heavy fog. That evening, as dusk was settling, he spotted movement ahead on the trail. At first, he thought it was another hiker, a woman in a white dress standing with her back to him. Her hair was long, dark, tangled by the wind. He called out a greeting. "Hello, you alright?" No response. She didn't move, didn't turn, just stood there in absolute silence, as though she didn't hear him at all. Daniel approached cautiously. The Appalachian nights got cold, and he thought maybe she was lost. But the closer he came, the stranger it became. The woman seemed to blur, her outline shimmering in the dim light like heat waves off, and then she was gone. One blink and the trail was empty. Daniel swore he hadn't looked away. She hadn't stepped off the trail. She had simply disappeared. He cut his trip short the next morning. 2 weeks later, a young couple hiking near the Virginia section posted a frenetic message online. They wrote that while walking a quiet part of the trail at night, their GPS suddenly stopped working. Phones froze, no service. That's when they noticed her. A woman in white standing just off the path among the trees. She was not walking, she was not breathing, just watching. When the couple tried to shine a flashlight on her face, the beam flickered and dimmed, and then the woman stepped forward silently. Her feet didn't crunch leaves, didn't disturb the ground. The couple turned and ran. They didn't stop until they reached the highway. Later, when they checked their phones, they found a GPS app had recorded their run. But on the map, the trail line twisted into shapes that made no sense. Circles, spirals, as if they had been running in loops. Stories of a woman in white are nothing new. Folklore around the world is filled with them. But on the Appalachian Trail, hikers began connecting the dots. Some say she is the spirit of a woman murdered by her lover centuries ago, her body left hidden among the trees. Others whisper that she is older than that, a forest guardian appearing to those who stray too far. But the most chilling theory came from a local historian. He claimed that in the 80s, a small community vanished near that very section of trail. All that remained were foundations of houses. In the church, among the records was a note. Villagers spoke of a woman in white who appeared before tragedies, a warning or a curse. The most disturbing modern account came late in the summer of 2021. A solo backpacker named Kelly kept a video diary on her phone. She recorded short clips every night before sleeping. On a final night on the trail, her last clip is only 30 seconds long. The video began with her whispering, "I have been hearing something outside my tent. Footsteps, slow like someone circling me. I thought I was a woman standing near the trees earlier, but there's no one out there." The video begins with her whispering, "I have been hearing something outside my tent. Footsteps, slow like someone circling me. I thought it was a woman standing near the trees earlier, but there's no one out here." Her face looked pale, her voice shaky. Then she turns the camera toward the tent door. In the dim light, through the thin fabric, you can see a woman, long hair hanging down. And then the fabric shifts as though someone is pressing their face right against it. The video ends with Kelly's gasping, the sound of the zipper being tugged and then silence. She never uploaded another entry. Her family later reported her missing. Rangers eventually found her backpack abandoned beside the trail. Her phone was inside, battery dead. Her body was never recovered. To this day, hikers still whisper about the woman in white. Some claim to see her drifting between the trees. Others report their devices failing, their GPS maps twisting into impossible shapes. The trail is long, the wilderness is endless, and when the sun goes down, it belongs to begin far older than us. There are places along the Appalachian backwoods that local warn you never to enter. Not because of wild animals, not because of unstable ground, but because something else lived there. Kentucky, 2016. Hidden miles away from the main road, surrounded by the thick forest, stood the ruins of an old church. No signs, no paved path, just an overgrown trail leading to a building that had been abandoned since the 1930s. Local whispered that strange lights glowed inside it at night, that people who entered came back. Some never came back at all. But like all urban legends, curiosity always wins. And in the summer of 2016, three friends decided to see the church for themselves. It was late evening when they reached it. The church sat crooked in a small clearing, its roof sagging, its windows shattered. Vines crawled up the wooden walls. The front door was missing, the frame hanging like an open mouth. The friends laughed nervously, shining their flashlights inside. Dust floated in the beams. Wooden pews lay broken. The altar splintered. But the strangest thing was how silent it was. No crickets, no wind, not even the sound of their own footsteps seemed right, as if the air swallowed every noise. One of them whispered, "It feels like we are being watched." They explored cautiously, their voice echoing. That's when they heard it, faint at first, a slow hum coming from beneath the church. They froze. The sound grew clear. The sound grew clear, rising into what sounded like chanting. Dozens of voices, whispers in unison, a language none of them recognized. The friends searched for the source. One discovered a trapdoor near the altar, half covered by debris. He tugged it open, revealing stairs leading down into darkness. The chanting stopped. The silence was so complete, it pressed against their ears. One friend insisted they leave, but another, emboldened, whispered, "We have come this far." They descended. The basement smelled of rot and damp air. The beam of their flashlights danced across stone, walls curved with stained symbol, jagged and uneven. And then the chanting returned. But this time it was everywhere, not below, not above. It was inside the basement itself. The walls seemed to breathe with the sound. The friends huddled together, their lights shaking. Suddenly, one flashlight cut out, then another. Only one remained, flickering weakly. That's when they saw it. At the far end of the basement, a figure stood, black as shadow, taller than any man. Its head tilted slowly, unnaturally, like it was studying them. And then the chanting grew into scream. The remaining flashlights dead. The basement plunged into darkness. In the pitch black, the friends swore something moved between them. Cold hands brushing against the shoulders. Breathing at their ears, one of them screamed and bolted for the stairs. The others followed blindly, tripping, clawing their way up. They burst out the church, gasping, running into the night without looking back. When they finally stopped, miles away, they realized one of them was missing, the youngest. They went back with police the next morning. The church was still there, but the basement was not. The trapdoor they would open was gone, just solid floor where it had been. And the missing friend, he was never found. Today, the ruins of the church still stand, hidden in the Kentucky woods. Locals warn against visiting it. They say if they step inside at night, you can still hear the faint chanting rise from beneath the floorboards. Otherwise, whispered that sometimes when the moon is high, you will see a figure standing inside, waiting by the altar, a tall shadow, tilting its head. The two survivors refused to talk about what happened. They moved away, cut ties with everyone who asked, but the one thing they admitted since that night, they still wake up at 3:33 am every night without fail. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you new spine chilling tales every weekend. Leave a sweet comment below, and if you have a personal experience or a horror story you would like to share, check out the description. You will find an email. You can send us your story on that email. See you in the next story. Take care.